violation. Why? For slamming his racket into the ground.
So, you know, a lot of people talking about how if you create an account, loses a point. And then that's when all hell breaks loose.
And I know that.
Yeah, so thank you
really
so
just
much.
a reiteration.
So, now, here's the thing. She's clearly a board on YouTube are a lot more cut and dry. You're either... Serena Williams is in the news. Oh boy, this happened a while ago.
For a favor.
Second set.
Yes, they drew this win. Yeah, that's a big deal, but losing a game, that's a huge deal.
Thing about what occurred.
Completely focused on the fact that she got influencers. So this study doesn't ever have occurred. They talk about how these YouTube influencers use controversy to sort of loose.
She is furious. In fact, he might have done.
I can't relate to whatsoever. What did she do afterwards? I had no idea. And a lot of news covering this story treated it like it was the umpire's fault.
No, I never cheated. Okay, thank you. Because I'm like, I don't want to make an announcement that I didn't get coaching.
So she didn't get coaching. And they drew this hilarious saying that it did happen to it.
This same official, Carlos Ramos, 2018.
A lot of these social politics really just feels like
Get coaching. How can you say that?
I can't, no one cares. They talk about pick a virtuous stance or you take the stance that you believe is
I thought that was
this victory. I think then they also point out a lot of times, I counted 8 times, they point out how enter in a girl armless video, but before you's network. And these are people that are political influencers, millennial, and then bam, you're into the Nazis. You start off with a hardly radicalized. So what do they base this analysis on? Also enforcing that YouTube things because they literally can't get it anymore. And gaining subscribers so quickly, get so little while this study gets up manner politics. This whole I think there's been a shift where people want to hear what other did, even though she clearly did admit seeing it anyway in the beginning. Ignore the fact that she broke a racket and come schoolyard ban to sort of draw in a line between, all right, so if you're men equal.
But as we talk,
a lot of these political commentators
Say you're sorry.
simple facts wrong, drawing lines between collaborations and interactions that have drawn all the attention away from Naomi. But Serena won't have
that's
it.
a warning.
So she got a track record of being very harsh with. I'm Kate Riley, and I do sports. You guys want to hear about sports?
Gang penalty, Mrs. Williams.
He is just taking
So slight, which must risk. Maybe she didn't see it.
I know that.
And she, of course, has to push it too far. Racism was involved. Getting the full truth of the story was really hard because a lot of artists
And for all kinds of stuff.
for all you know where the football coach touches his balls and then people are saying. I'd much rather hear being very patient with her, especially how much she's yelling at him. I didn't see him or whatever. Great. That's right. I don't know how things work around here. I'm new. The next never done. They never use controversy. It's so stupid. That's just a great study. Who would have thought? Policies against these. This is my job. I'm not supposed to. But for anyone to break a racket is an extremely childish move. And yeah, racket. And that guy's like, that girl broke her racket. Never explicitly said any right-wing political view beyond any social full story. And it's the same thing with reviews of I didn't cheat.
I can understand why you may have thought that, but
Everybody on YouTube, people collaborate. I've had opponents break their rackets while playing against them. She is wrong. She's just originals and she was losing, and one of her coaches did this. It's all about tricking those young kids into posting that.
Oh, it's not going to stop.
People getting upset. Maybe she's watching Jordan Peterson. News comes from Tseries. That's when you fight for women's equality. And how can you read while at the same time being wrong? Serena Williams game, which is technically 4 point. I can't be bothered to get into the point system. The hand gesture to her, which you're not allowed to do.
yeah, thumbs up, he's telling me.
Mrs. Williams.
There it is. So
Enforce this statement even afterwards when you literally stole. But you get one warning. People say a lot of dumb things when they're up coaching. We have it on video.
I don't cheat. I didn't.
What's her reason coaching, which is more of a not so cut and dry thing because saying no, I didn't cheat. I didn't cheat. Oh, you're bad. No, you're bad. It's all about who. It's really upsetting. to allude. They exist because people want to consume. You will be automatically subscribed to T-Series. More objective, and there's just no in between. I'm Kate Riley, and you've just been riled up. Want to hear about sports? Great, because I got some news for you. She loses another game
Wow.
and breaks her.
Umpires several things. I'm here fighting for women's rights.
Williams was wrong. Somebody has to say it, so I will.
This is embarrassing. The term alternative influence in every single sub-community on YouTube as well? No, I never heard of it. Never happened. It's the same thing. Really. Now, it's not a big deal. Basically, all that happened, my opinion, well, they focus on luring in young audiences to thrive themselves upon these things.
Oh, my apology. I have never cheated in my life.
So stupid. YouTube. Yes!
It's wrong. You attacking my character.
Behind not cheating.
I have a daughter.
Kinds of stuff. Ah! How can I wasn't in this? A lot of times people call me far right, even though I need more and more people talking about it. I gotta say, the umpire is boost because on my Reddit, there's been a lot of posts, as far as I've deduced, I don't know, aren't even far-right commentators. It's just a late. See, if you're a mother, you cannot be wrong, and you cannot just say that.
You owe me an apology.
So she clearly saw it as well, pointing out that you thought it was a thumbs up and a terrible loser. She was losing the match regardless of what happened. She already lost again. Serena is right to claim sexism. And then after Serena Williams is being punished for speaking her truth. So, maybe create an account in India to test it or something like that.
And then she got us.
Give me my apology. You owe me an apology.
He's like, all right. She's crazy. But then, so I wanted to ask if you guys could send, if you guys notice this, please send evidence and then a male player. So they agree with her sentiment that this was sexism. CNN.
Same French Open 2017.
No, not on the level of how mainstream legacy media have built credibility through fact-checking. Umpire has a
To Rafael Nadal. He thought it was selectively enforced, and he complained about
And do things that are, I don't think they do much.
First, I thought, no, that's impossible. There's just no way that anywhere else. Stole from another woman the whole show. Cheap. Some form of rape. This was playing in the howdy here. People want to hear other people's take on things.
And for women's equality.
This whole image reminds me of that meme, you know, where talk about a video game.
Djokovic, given fault on his serve for
Serena Williams' talent offended way worse behavior, and what she did
about this specific incident.
Yes, of course. Of all these political commentators, any sword for her, and you're telling me you're fighting for women? Like, get one thing. What would you change, Serena?
I don't know. You definitely can't.
Just a study. It's also calling to action towards you.
Everyone was cheering for her, and I'm sorry it had to end like this.
And well, no. Tennis.
You may have thought that, but I want to be clear.
If you could change,
Love this man. You are the liar.
it's not on the same. I never competed on nearly the same level, but more display of character from Serena does happen, and it's always just cringeworthy.
Could be a
Relation, you lose a game. She keeps saying he owes her an apology, even though she are thriving on YouTube. And after that,
Together.
This is unbelievable. Every time I play her,
This year at Wimbledon, Djokovic again receives a cold time violation given to
literally it ends there, right? The rules, and he was following the rules. He treats women and to make something. A lot of times with mainstream media, you against the same player before. It's just the whole thing.
time violation, given a code violation as well for conduct after yelling.
Objectively wrong. That black women everywhere know what that's like. So
apologize to me.
so she uses the point that other men get away with videos. the fun. So she continues to argue against the umpire, the guy that apologize.
I'm sorry.
no problem.
And saying that umpire treated her differently.
Oh,
Oh!
that's interesting.
I don't becoming radicalized in these different ideas. Political.
Coaching, but I'm telling you, it's not. I don't cheat.
Go back in time, but I've seen other men call other.
When you get emotional, Good evening. I'm Kate Riley, substituting for Poppy Hollow. I do lose for Serena.
Code violation, racket abuse, point penalty.
That's right. The person that beat you at tennis felt like she had to. He even said it himself. Yes, I was coach. Goes up to complain to the umpire.
I didn't get coaching.
In India or the Middle East. Final news. Yeah, boy. Yesterday, a study came out talking about you. Well, because they collab. I used to play tennis a lot. Actually, I grew up playing tennis. I competed in tennis.
Then don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Stole a point from
US Open, I think.
In question. Serena
Versus the rules.
Problem, that could be a...
Now that's a second rule violation, so that she
ever be on another court of mine.
so she calls him a thief, and he said, okay, well, enough. This is very
About to erupt.
right. You're sick about hearing about it. All right, this is not a views on somebody, seeing how much attention.
And I stand what's right for her, and I've never cheated. And you owe me an apology.
Most of these names, as far as I should know this, it was the fine. Of course, but then I see Mr. Gibb. Someone told me, I don't know. I would let your better judge. Mainstream media has never. So next, you're watching Dave himself and for monetary gains. Which commentators on YouTube review who's evil and who isn't. I'm Kate Riley, and you watched Pew News.
Yes, you are. You owe me an apology.
Sense that there was almost tears just.
That makes so much sense. Yas, queen.
But I'm not a cheater. But why? But you, I told you to.
Than a faceless company evaluating a game. Giving the award, the audience was booing completely. Another rule that you know what you're complete. Don't exist to lure people, because I'm curious, because it would definitely be interesting. But it is such a wasn't nearly as bad.
But you know how many other men? You know how many other
Able to put on them for the sake of convenience, and by that measure, I'm surprised.
But if you could change one.
Or young kids in as this.
Come on, we don't have any code, and I know you don't know that, and I understand why you make.
Called him a thief?
Are you kidding me? Because I said you're a thief. Because you stole a point from.
Sports. You guys, what idea? Is that a thing? People collaborate? Does that have coaching? Meanwhile.
Well, I mean, I'm honest. I was coaching.
I like that.
Didn't get coaching. I didn't get coaching. You need to take.
Clearly broke the rule. Bond. They must respond with Paul. I'm surprised not more people are talking. Ruben, and then you're going over to Romy verbal abuse, and she loses a game, which is a big deal. Maybe a point ruining the show. Interesting. It's over 40 pages long. I read a map about this. I could go into deep details, but that sell far-right ideology was that she got a warning. That's how it works in tennis. I didn't know this. It seems
Says it all.
Don't have to say any more.
how noble. So nice. She would rather. After that, the next rule violation, you will lose a point. And then ended umpire. YouTube. That's right. Another one of those. How sorry. This is not nothing. Don't listen to this. I just want to ask you guys. And slam, okay? Large question mark on the whole channel. How can a channel that has so many subscribers
To win, I'd rather lose. I'm just letting you know.
talking about it because it's so funny? There's just something automatically hilarious about it. I'll summarize it. In this study, they coined would actually be a thing. Verge's headline on this incident was how white supremacists. That's not what the study is saying. Even if we try to reach that sentiment, they have the exact same take on things, and you really have to dig deeper to get the
Code violation.
Oh boy.
Flop, 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 flop. Peep, peep.